Greetings, beauties all over the world. So, coming to you a little bit hot today. Can you believe it? It's hot for an early spring day, and my chickens have actually just been inside, but I've kicked them out because they have made a mess. So now they're outside and hopefully out of trouble. So, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well and you're doing those things that you love and enjoy. So, okay, so let's go to the what have we got here? Okay, so we've got an awesome question. Uh, Angry Birds. Angry Birds to send a message. And also Meiju or Mayu. I'm so sorry, honey, how you pronounced your name. I'm not sure. Um, but we've got a couple things to answer. Um, Me personally, I'm doing very well. I cannot begin to even tell you how happy I am that spring is coming and my roses are shooting out. And I would I would speculate that perhaps maybe I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe in the next month, um, I'm gonna maybe see some flower buds. Maybe I hope so, but I've done a little bit of controlled experimenting with them, and I don't want to gross you out, but it's to do with using urine as a fertilizer on them. And I did a video about that on my Elnor Gardens website, YouTube channel. And you know what? It is working amazing. I put it on 2 roses because I was too scared to do it on all the other ones just yet. And the ones that I have put them on, they are doing like I want to say that, oh, it's just a coincidence, but they're doing so much. Well, I mean, every one of them are doing well, but these ones are like shooting out like berserk, and I'm like, maybe there is something to this, and it really does really work. So I've been using this because I've also heard that it helps conserve, or this fertilizer is a great substitute for plants not taking as much water. Because when I um, listened to this Nigerian woman farmer, she was saying that the plants need less water when they get this fertilizer. I'm like, wow, okay. Because already now it's been warming up, everything's drying up. Like the greenery that has been around this area, it's starting to dry up now. And it won't be long until it's dust and prickles again. And obviously, I need to keep watering these roses and learn to um, conserve water usage even more. And it's a challenge, every year. Last year was such a difficult year. I mean, it was my first year, but it was difficult. So a lot of controlled experimenting, but they are looking so good. And the best thing about it is that I can control and water them all at the same time in this one bed. I've got 2 beds. I've got the Iranian roses down in the paddock, and then the David Austins up on that area near the stone wall. And it's just so much easier to water one section at a time. But next year, once I start planting these cuttings and things that are shooting out, I'm going to have to plant them down in that bed that I've made. And between now and the next year's planting, I'm going to have to do so much irrigation work, as in buying that polypipe, that 13 mil polypipe, and start lining the paddock with that, because it's just you don't have enough hours in the day to water all those roses by hand. um, and that's when it starts to cost starts adding up. So, so I've got to work on that, and I'm slowly doing it now because I'm trying to get the dates that I've got in there now irrigated for the summer. I don't want to have to go out there every second day and water them. Even though they're a desert plant, in their young years, you really need to nurture them and, give them enough water. So, but I'm not going out right now because it is damn hot. It is damn hot, and I've got so soft in this winter with temperature speaking, and it's so bright outside because it's so hot. And I walk out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to wait until later in the afternoon to do this work when the sun isn't so glaring. So I've got soft even though I'm working physically, I gotta harden up that desert skin of mine and get used to the warmth that's going to come because it's gonna come, and it's a hard heat here. It's a hard winter and it's a hard heat. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to, and I do have some other experimental flowers, but I'm resisting putting them out in the open sun because they're too little, and it was just peace of mind. I just wanted to have a few different flowers. So I'm really needing to work on this greenhouse that I'm trying to build, but I still haven't dug the post holes for the concrete to um, concrete in that structure, them wooden beams that I've got. I've got to do so much cement work, but I get busy, and it just at the end of the day I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't be bothered to go and dig those damn holes. And I've got to do it though. I've got to toughen up a little more and get out and do it before it gets really hot, because once it's too hot, I will not want to be out there because one, there's going to be snakes, and two, it'll just be too damn hot. But on the weather forecast, it says good. You know what? So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are my days for doing this, and it's going to be cool because rain's meant to be coming, and the weather is cool, like 12 degrees. So I must, without a doubt, do it those days, and then I'll be happy that that's out the way. So yeah, so that's what's happening in my world, people, and so let's get into let's get into the questions here. So there's only a couple, but gives me a chance to spend more time on one thing. So Angry Birds, hey, in Kosovo, he says Kosovo, Dardania still isn't available country on most online things for shipping. You know what, Angry Birds, if you do ever want to purchase, I can decide where I want to send things so that unless your country doesn't accept international parcels or packages or whatever, that I can't control. But I can send to Antarctica if I want to. Like if there's no restrictions on the receiving end, I am not limited to where I send. I've already sent to some kind of exotic countries. I've sent to Russia. I've sent to Iceland. I've sent to Saudi Arabia. I've even sent to Iraq. So I've sent to places that can't. They're kind of not in that green zone of safe places to send. But you know what? If people are willing to, if they know their country's quarantine and their regulations with the post, then why not? Why not? Um, Ingrid Burr says, is it just me or did the video cut while you were answering? I can only watch until the 17-minute mark. I don't know what video that is. I'm not sure. But in terms of what I was talking about last time about kind of consolidating my videos and stuff, I'm having so much issue with this damn new YouTube edit studio crap that they have introduced. I cannot stand it. Like, I keep going back to the classic old YouTube studio editing software that they provide, because this new one, oh my gosh, it does my head in. And I just want things as basic as possible, and they're just getting more intricate, more detailed. You have to learn to re-navigate around everything. I don't know how to use it, and um, gosh, as soon as you get used to one way, they suddenly come up with all these updates, and you have to relearn how to use everything again. And um, you know what? I just figured to myself, I'm not going to consolidate or categorize my videos or post just meditations and spirituality. I figured if people don't want to watch it, they won't watch it. And I'll let people make their own choice, you know. So I'll just keep posting what I post on my channel as I've always done, but I will keep the gardening stuff in the on the gardening channel just so I can focus one channel primarily on gardening, you know, or whatever. In this case, it's gardening. So all you green thumbers out there that love gardens, I mean, then you have all the gardening videos kind of just consolidated together, and everything else will just be that mishmash of Angelera on YouTube. So I think that's what I'll just do because it's just too much headache with this beta studio thing, and I just cannot navigate around it. My patience for it, every time I use it, just keeps getting thinner and thinner. And, you know, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan. And I've already sent my feedback about it. Not that they're going to read it because, you know, look at my track record with YouTube. Anyway, so I just figured I'm just going to upload things just as they come, as intuitively as they come, as I've always done. And, you know, people can work out whether they want to watch it or not watch it. They can decide. I don't need to do that for other people. So I'll just do as I do. Just do as I do. Okay, so Meju, sorry, honey, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I am so sorry. But she has sent the best question, and you know, I've been wanting to answer this for the last few days when I read it. But she said here, "Hi, for the September Q&A, any advice on how to form a deeper connection with the divine feminine? I've realized how much I've been rejecting the feminine essence for the majority of my life. I've been bringing awareness to the negative beliefs and fears that I have towards the feminine and being a woman. The fears and beliefs have started to dissipate bit by bit. It feels good and right, so I want to keep doing this. What keeps you connected with the divine feminine? Sending love." Thank you so much, Meju. You know what? I'm gonna say it again, but it truly, I feel like we all have our own personal, individual connection with the divine feminine because we are of the planet. You know, we are the dust of this planet, somewhat, because obviously a lot of us are not from this planet. A lot of us have those star origins, but the divine feminine, I feel, is not even exclusive to this planet. I feel like the divine feminine literally seeps and bleeds into everything that we are. But I will say that I am reminded of my connection of the divine feminine that I have through nature, through gardening. It is the be all and end all for me, and it is the medicine that continually satiates me and feeds me and nurtures me and heals me like nothing else. I swear it, people, and it's such a beautiful connection. And I'm reminded every single time I go out in my garden, when I look at these tiny little forcing buds coming through, like, you know, the rose canes, or seeing the seeds sprouting, like this feeds me like nothing else. This satisfies me like nothing else. It makes me feel like nothing else matters except for nurturing life and perpetuating life, you know, because it's this continual cycle. That is what we are. We are this cycle of life, you know, a beautiful life if you want it. And we can have the most prosperous, richest, abundant, loving, satisfying way of life. And yet we as humans get so caught up on all the things that just don't matter. And I'm talking about money. You know, it only matters to us because we want to feed ourselves and be able to afford the things that we need to survive. But if you're savvy enough, you can really read between the lines of money, and you realize it is a sham, it is a control mechanism, because abundance comes without money. And I mean in the smallest example of, um, like a fruit tree. A fruit tree, every year it produces and yields the most incredible fruit. Like, for example, my peach tree. It's such a mature tree, and it provides so much abundance for me, and it's endless. You pick the fruit, there's more the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It does not stop. And then if you can't eat it all, you can preserve it for the winter. You can freeze it for the winter. It's about being savvy and reading between the lines, and really realizing that money is only one form of abundance. My chickens, they provide an abundance. They give me eggs. They also give me love. They satiate me like nothing else. They allow me to make bread. They allow me to make pancakes. They allow me to make cakes, because of the eggs. Curried egg sandwiches. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is so much free abundance, and then of course water. I feel so lucky that I have my own water supply, because when I'm reading about people having to pay, um, I mean, obviously, we do have to pay for water, but having not even being able to collect rainwater from the sky and have a rainwater tank, and hearing that it's illegal in some countries, I'm just like, how can you deny a human being their basic rights for living and surviving, because they're deciding to catch water from the sky, pure water? I mean, that's going to get me on a different subject, but that's another form of abundance. So learning to read between the lines, becoming savvy and not being afraid to go without. Because here we are in 2019, all of us, you and me, and we're still alive. We're still breathing. We're still eating. We're still alive. We didn't fall off the face of the earth because we didn't have any money. We're still here. We're not going to go anywhere. It'll always turn out, if you believe it to be so. And so, I will say that gardening and creating life will repay you in ways so beyond the spoken word, so beyond what any money can give you, so beyond anything. Gardening and creating and nurturing life will feed you, satiate you like nothing else. And this is why, actually, one of my great girlfriends in England, she told me that there's this program where people that have had abuse or violence, or issues with drugs and alcohol addiction, there is some kind of program that has created these acres of allowing people to go out and garden, learning how to garden. So, allowing these people that have had so much trauma or challenge or illness or something, allowing them to go out and nurture and create life in a safe environment, seeing what they put in the ground and watching it grow. And it's healed so many people. So this is why I keep going back, to people saying, go out in nature, take a picnic basket, go for just go for a day, go for a weekend, turn your phone off, turn your social apps off, just go out and immerse yourself in some secluded spot. I know it's difficult to find seclusion, especially in you know high density populated areas. In Europe, I know it is densely populated, but I know there are a lot of places in Europe, everywhere, that you can go where you have some privacy on your own. And that's all it takes is going out and packing a picnic basket and just relaxing. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about next week. Don't think about your paycheck or your bank balance. Just lie in there and allow nature to immerse you in healing, positive, loving, beautiful energy. So, my answer to that question would be go out and garden. Even if you're in an apartment and you're in somewhere like New York City, or you're in Mumbai, or you're in central London, there is nothing stopping you from creating a garden and nurturing life in your flat. Learn and research the plants that grow indoors. You can grow vegetables indoors. If you really want to do it, believe me, you'll make it work. And it's magic. You know, some of the things I've seen online are magical when you see how people are nurturing life within, a limited space. You know what, you can literally do anything if you want to. You can literally do anything if you want to. So that would be my answer to how to connect on a deeper level with the divine feminine is grow a garden, grow a garden, um, you know, and go crazy with it. Go crazy with it. It's in many ways. Sometimes it seems slow for me out here because, um, like I have so much space to use, and it will take hundreds and hundreds of trees and bushes and things to start feeling like I have privacy, and I'm creating this utopic environment. I know that I am, but plants don't grow 2 meters tall overnight. They need nurturing, they need good soil conditions, they need the right environment. I can't grow something like lilies out here, or even limited to dahlias because it's just so hot, it's so windy. They don't cope well. So if I do try and grow them, I need to pick the right spot. Even peonies, I've got two experimental peony plants right now, or bulbs, and I've lined them up against the concrete wall in the rose bed, and it's just an experiment, just to see. And you know what? You don't have to go out and buy plants. Take cuttings, put them in sawdust. Use some kind of growing medium in order to allow them to grow. You don't need to spend. You don't need to spend money. You can, again, research and take cuttings. I have, maybe 10 grapevine cuttings in sawdust right now. I don't know if they're going to grow, but they obviously are liking it because I'm seeing these beautiful fuzzy little white buds on these grapevines, and they're happy in there. So I put my fig cuttings in there too now. Um, so it's just about researching the right environment for the things that you want to grow. You don't have to spend money. You've seen my example of growing these date palms from seed. You can do it. If I can do it, for sure you can do it. And half the time I still don't know what I'm doing, but I've had so much trial and error with this. But I do feel like I found the secret for propagating roses, growing roses from seed, and trialing other plant species in sawdust. But that would be my answer. So I hope that answers your question, Meju. And uh, hello. If there's anything else, then please feel free to reply in the answer, like in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer. So right now, I need to go and cut some more soap. I have been mad soap making for the last week, and I have some incredible soaps. I have got all different varieties, and actually now, just to finish off, I know I mentioned that I'm going to sell them at $5.95, but I actually think I'm going to sell them at $4.95. Um, I feel like I can manage that price, and if I can't, then I'll put it up to $5.95. But either way, um, I'm excited to see what you guys think of the soap. It is obviously Andalera soap. It's not the generic, typical looking artisan soap. Um, and again, it's about nurturing my local ingredients here. And I've made some pretty incredible soap. There's one that's got a native wattle inside of it, and it's so weird because as I can you hear that little blackbird? It's a beautiful little blackbird out. Um, as I put the wattle inside the soap, it made the soap. Not only did it accelerate the emulsification process, but like the saponification, it marbleized the soap. It marbleized the soap and turned the top like a brown. It's unbelievable, and I don't know, like it's such a fulfilling experience. Today I made some goat's milk and lavender soap, and it smells incredible. I also have a frankincense soap. I now have an unscented soap. I've got all these names for them, so they're all got their little labels and things. And um, just to let you know, so the way I'm going to package them is they've got their own little labels, and I'm just going to wrap them in tissue paper. I think just keeping it simple, not going crazy. I want to do some like limited edition soaps, which are based on, like seasonal soaps using local ingredients here, things that aren't available in other parts of the world that are native to Australia. So yeah, it's kind of opened up a door for me that I feel really creatively inspired, and oh my god, I just love it. So I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But now it's just all curing. It's got to have a couple of weeks of curing at least. But it's safe and fine to use even after 24 hours. But it's too soft now. I'm just letting it dry out a little bit. So yeah, I'm busy doing that. And if you follow me on my Instagram, you'll see that I've been posting a few little things on my soaps. So yeah, okay. Well, time for me to go and do this soap. And yeah, I send you guys my love and my blessings, and I hope you enjoyed this. Um, this Patreon video. And until next time, may you always be blessed by the supreme truth and love of the cosmos. As always, love you guys.